We did it again.
Yeah.
Shizzio. With Creed on the mic.
Come on, baby.
We hit to make you feel good and move you right. With a little bit of this and a little bit of twist.
The Ilford IG local geezer. Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for either.
Da da dee da da da.
It's the Ilford IG local geezer. Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for either.
Da da dee da da da.
Perpendicular, straight up, opposite a pay cut. If you're not out tonight, I wouldn't wait up. Don't correlate up, take up to fake, but more merry than berry. The kitchen's all baked up. Not PC, let me mac on your makeup. Heart on my head like I got me a Drake cup.
Right, the Shizzio Show today. We're out of the office. It's a big one. Palestine fundraiser, Kream Developments. We've got supercars over there. We've got so much going on. Auction. We're raising money. We've got celebrity guests. We're gonna capture what we can and give it to you raw, baby. Yeah.
One like a horse, but you never get away.
It's the Ilford IG local geezer. Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for either.
Da da dee da da da.
It's the Ilford IG local geezer. Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for either.
Da da dee da da da.
Doing up Cambridge, doing up Oxford, M-Way doing up Uxbridge, MC Hammer with the jewels, can't touch this. All the bad bees in the cockpit, cheese, bro, I'm smoking that what's it. I don't wanna hear no nonsense, strong boat, all my team's on no nonsense. You know it's 4-5 for the nonsense, He-Man power of grace, got He-Man power to make
Yo, look who I stumbled at. Fresh home, yeah? And fresh home, I'm meaning like freshly married, bro. How are you, bro?
I was alright, and then I got married. But it's alright, man, I had to do it, innit? You know what I mean?
No, it was
I had to do
amazing,
it,
bro.
yeah.
Congrats. I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, I have to say, the greatest entrance I have ever seen
Thank
at
you.
a wedding.
You know, one of the cameramen actually said that.
No, it was.
He actually said, I've been doing this for 19 years. He literally took me to the
Oh.
side and he goes, I've been doing it for 19 years. I've never seen an entrance like that.
It was fucking spectacular.
Thank
I
you,
was
bro.
so
Appreciate it.
happy for you, bro.
Thank you. I was happy as well. I never thought I would ever want to get married.
Yeah.
I was just that guy, and
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, man. God works in mysterious ways, and yeah, it was a blast. It was
I
good.
think for me, it was when you stop looking for something, it usually tends to...
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was never looking for it. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but
lie,
that's what I mean.
but you're right. When life just hits you hard
It's mental,
sometimes,
innit?
and
But
you just never know what's around the corner.
you look
but-
so happy, bro. And
Thank you,
thank you
bro.
for inviting me. I absolutely loved
on,
it,
man.
bro.
You're my
And
boy,
your
man.
entry was the best.
Yeah.
As you sat down,
Yep.
you just showed me this phone and said
Yep.
you are a Google ambassador. Now, this
Yep.
is a phone I've never even seen before. What does being a Google ambassador mean?
So that means you
just
get
get free shit.
bare free shit, man.
Is it? What,
Trust
every
me.
day?
If I was full on Pakistani, I would have sold that by now.
Why
honestly.
not?
I know.
How many did you
To
got?
be honest, I probably will.
No, you ring them
I've
and
got
say-
I've got every single Google phone, like ever.
But then just sell
Yeah,
the other ones, no?
Sometimes, like, even if I have a little crack on them, I'll actually, like, if I'm with someone from Google, I'm like, oh, I've got a little crack.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, don't worry, here's another one.
Yeah, but
Sick.
what does that mean by being an ambassador for Google?
So the actual latest Google advert.
Yeah, I've seen you on YouTube. Yeah.
So that's me. And the one before that had an even bigger advert, which I was a part of as well. It was me, Michael Dapper, and a couple of other people that I'm not really familiar with. But yeah, man, no, just creating content for them, and Google owns YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I've always been, YouTube's in my blood. So
Yeah.
it's been I've been working with Google for a long time, a really long time.
Do they reach out to you, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is that
So
how it works?
what happened was, I mean, I started when I became a YouTube ambassador.
Yeah.
Google then asked me to do performances, and what Google do is they will, for their workers. So imagine, like, in the UK, in the United Kingdom, they'll get all their Google workers together in this big arena, and they'll do like a presentation, a show.
Right.
They'll motivate their staff, but they would want to entertain as well. And I started doing like a few stand-ups.
Stand-ups.
And stand-ups / inspirational kind of like talks. And it's gone so well. And I've performed in UK. I've performed for Google, like in China.
I love
I've
this,
performed
because
like Brazil,
I've grown
yeah.
up watching you, bro. So I'm chuffed for you, bro.
Thank you, bro. And I
Honestly,
you know what's the maddest thing? I was just saying to my mum as well earlier that one of the first ever interviews, I think possibly the first interview that I taped of myself, was when we had
Last year.
How long was that? Was like
10, 15 years. But you know, it's amazing in the actual testament that you stuck to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, as like an Asian, you're saying you're with Michael Dapper and these other these other comedy guys, to be in the mix and representing all of us. Do you actually take that on board? Or
yeah, I mean, we've had like, you know, personal chats about you know how the industry is, and you've given me some great advice as well, like that I've even learned from. It's one of those things where, unfortunately, you know, I think that Asian people kind of get left behind a little bit.
I definitely think
that.
that.
And I feel like it's not fair. It's not enough balance.
Yeah.
But one thing that I was really proud of was, because of obviously my luck and me being in a position after Diary of a Badman where I had, you know, so many eyes watching me and almost like a sense of influence.
Yep, definitely.
I felt like other people who weren't Asian knew that and knew my worth. And for me, that allowed me to do my thing and then open the doors for even, you know, for other content creators who are from Asian backgrounds. And now you've got quite, not a lot, but you've got a lot more than what it was before.
How does it feel like you're kind of the older in it now? And not in, do you know what I mean? Like when you got the youngers coming through TikTok and all that, but you actually laid a blueprint for them.
I love it.
Gave them hope.
I absolutely love it, because my hope was, goodness gracious me, on BBC One.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out, and I was just like, you know, when I see like 4 Asian people on TV,
of course,
on BBC, I'm like, oh my God, if they can do it, I can do it. And it was so inspirational. And then afterwards, seeing them and speaking to them, and even, you know, my first BBC show was with Nina, which was fantastic. She was obviously one of the original OGs in Goodness Gracious Me. And now seeing all these younger content creators and whatnot, and, you know, I speak to a few here and there, and, you know, when they reach out, and, you know, I give my little 2 pence, and I'm proud. I love it.
But you're up there now. You're certified.
I'm all right. I'm on my throne. I'm happy. I've done it. Like, and I'm still doing it because of Diary of a Badman. It put me in that position where all these doors opened up for me, and God gave me that opportunity where, like, I'm sorted for life kind of now. Hopefully I won't be homeless next year, and then people look back at this and be like, oh, that.
I've seen the AMG GT, you'll be alright.
No, it's a GTS, but it's alright.
GTS, bro, put the S in, baby.
You know, GT's about 20 grand less, but it's fine. Don't disrespect mans like that again, though, innit? In the bridal suite.
Right, listen, let me talk about Diary of a Badman, because that obviously set it off. That was you. Yeah. You make it yourself. You film it yourself. I've been very fortunate enough to play a character in the most recent one. Thank you so much. I loved it. But I'm seeing you on set, really working this thing. Like, you really are part of everything. Yeah. How hard has that been?
It's really easy, and it's really hard. So it's easy in the sense of when you feel like you have more control. Yeah. You know, you are aware of everything, and you're in charge of putting the product together, and you can, you know if, you know, no one does it better than yourself, like, you know, and in that sense. But obviously, at the same time,
do you find it hard to delegate it out a bit?
It is,
because you edit it still, don't you?
So
which must be nuts.
I have a bit of OCD. Yeah?
Right.
The thing is, comedy, a lot of it is about timing.
Yep.
Yeah. And even in terms of like just putting a production, because I wouldn't even classify myself as a YouTuber. I'm a content creator.
Yeah, for real. I like, you've evolved, definitely.
I make like films, short films.
Absolutely.
And even with the new BADMAN series, they're like mini films.
Of course.
I do take on a lot, and I think it's one of those ones where I'm like, I know that I'm going to give it 100%, and no one's going to put as much passion as I will. And number 2, it's, you must know this as well. It's actually really hard to find good help nowadays as well. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, we can have an hour. You know what I mean?
Like, I have visions of how I want things, and it's so hard to tell someone else that's how I want it.
Yeah, bro, and it's
but
really
it's just time management, I guess. Because you're ambassador for this, you've got books out. Yeah. You do the school tours regular. Yeah. How the F do you have time to do all that? Your brain must be fried. Married now as well. Yeah, that's the family life, obviously. How do you juggle it?
Yeah, it is actually really hard, and that's why I've kind of been pushing back. I think the last couple of years, people are like, why are you not really making, like, you're making a video every year now, like a BADMAN comes out every year, and they get frustrated, but they don't realize, like, the last 2-3 years I've been working on projects that are so big, mashallah, that you know, it takes a lot of time away from what I normally used to do. YouTube was great and I love it, and I will never, ever officially give up of it.
Yeah, I don't like that past tense was great.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not feeling that at all, bro.
No, I will still always create content, but I've definitely now, I feel like especially this year, I've realized like my next BADMAN might possibly be my last. In terms of in the BADMAN series, and I just felt that I need to.
But you've had 12, is it 12 now? 13?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, so and the Diary of BADMAN has 16 episodes, and then you got so many other series. I've done like Black and Brown with the Jazzy. I've done, we did Smoky Barbers, which was on another YouTube channel. But we've done so many other things, Bubblegum, Chewing Gum. But yeah, it's time for me to step back. And now I want to do bigger things like movies and films.
So I interviewed that A12 Funny recently, and he said he's got so many sketches for months planned ahead. Do you still get that feeling, or are you kind of because of what you're doing now, you're not thinking that way now? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in a different stage of my life, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well,
I will always have ideas. Like I will have a million ideas every single day. That's anyone who's creative will always be on go.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that I've kind of done a lot of the hard work, now I'm able to sit back a little bit and choose my projects and not. I think that's the hustler mentality of yes, I've got to keep going, and that's what you have to do, and that's what I was doing for many years. I was always trying to be the hardest worker in the room, but as I said, like without obviously sounding arrogant, I just felt like when Diary of BADMAN happened, it completely changed my life, and now I'm in a position in my career now where I have more opportunities, and I've kind of, a lot of people already know who I am now, so now it's not about getting my name out, it's about doing things that I want to do.
So if the next Diary of BADMAN's the last one, when can we see that?
It will be next year.
It will
be next year.
But it will happen though.
No, 100%. Oh yeah,
happen.
I think about that every day, and even just now, like we're here, and people are asking me when's the next BADMAN. So it will definitely be, inshallah next year. But I want to make it. Every episode, I have higher expectations of myself. Yeah. So I kind of put more pressure on myself.
Well, the production's amazing. You've got car chases. You've got everything going on. It's it is a film.
Yeah. No, it's I'm really proud of it. Like,
it should be.
There's not that many YouTubers that make that level of kind of content. Continuously for the last 12 years. So, and I always try to excel, whether it's production, lighting, editing, music, everything. I just try my best to always do better.
No, of course. And then with the books, writing the book is one thing.
Yeah.
Getting a Penguin book deal, Penguin are like the goats of books. We all know this.
I know,
That little penguin sign.
Yeah.
How the hell did that come about?
You know what? They approached me like 5-6 years ago to do a book.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm open to it, but I didn't really know what I wanted to write about. And then later on, Puffin, who are Penguin, just did the younger books. They were like, what about for children's books?
Amazing.
And I was like, I remember, like I've said this quite a lot, but I once read this study where it said that, I think it was in 2017, I'm not sure, but with every single book that was published out in the UK, thousands and thousands of books, only 1% of every single book that was released in that year, only 1% had a main character that was of diverse background. And I thought that was like horrible and disgusting. And I thought, you know what, Diary of BADMAN, imagine him as a little kid. I called it Little BADMAN. We released the first book, which was a new world to me. I wasn't familiar with it, but it was so much fun, and it won awards, and it did so well, and there were like another one, and I mean we're 4 books in, and working on another one.
Are they easy to write, or do they write themselves? Or
so I have my partner in crime when it comes to the books is this guy called Henry White. He's a very, very good friend of mine, and we work on a lot of projects together, and he's kind of like my right hand man, and especially with the books, if it wasn't for him, there'd be no books. Right. So he does a lot of.
So you've got someone to bounce off ideas with.
And he does a lot of the writing.
Okay.
He's literally, when it comes to the books, he's if it wasn't for him, I might with my schedule I wouldn't have been able to do it myself. But with the first one, we just sat down and we, kept meeting up in the cafe, and we'll talk about the world and the characters, and then we'll talk about the individual stories, and then once you're on a book, you get the story right, you get the pacing and the flow, and then he goes and does his thing, and then I do my thing, and then it just gels.
I suppose the next step's a cartoon, no?
Yeah.
Oh, have I hit a nerve, right?
I don't want to say too much. I don't want to the evil eye.
Well, it's a natural. Okay, all right. Yeah.
If that happened,
I mean, that's where I could just see it anyway. We haven't spoken about this, but naturally, it would just make perfect sense.
If that happens, inshallah, that would be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But we're working hard. We are working hard on it.
I've got to be mindful of time because there's a big event going inside. Just want to touch on your face is currently in the cinema right now. Sumotherhood. Adam Deacon. Jazzy, new Ed Sheeran, Asher D, Lethal B, Humza. How did that happen? Obviously, you and Jazzy have been tight for a while.
Yeah. You know what is the funniest thing is, so Jazzy's my boy. Like we, once I think in Diary of BADMAN 6, he made his first appearance, and since then, like even with our chemistry, it was, on and off screen, it was just incredible. And I've got a lot of love for him, and it's quite funny because I had a lounge, and I remember this was like about 5 years ago, and Adam and Jazzy would come to my lounge, and I would give them a corner, and they wrote that script for the movie.
Oh, swear.
Yeah. So it's incredible to see them 5-6 years ago writing it, and they worked really, really hard. I think they got private funding, and then they made the film, and then Paramount jumped in.
Especially with Adam, because I know Adam. I've been in a film with him, so to see his
you have,
his
exactly,
up and downs, you see that. But for you to represent the Asian people in there, that must,
Yeah, we even spoken about that as well. It's a big thing for me. I think a lot of people don't understand how passionate I am. I'm not doing this in terms of it's all about me. It's I actually do really care about bringing the Asian community up in this industry, and there are a lot of talented Asian people, but I just feel like there could be even more.
Of course.
And compared to what it was 10 years ago, we've definitely improved.
But we've got a long way to go.
We've got a long way to go, and even for me, it was a small part. It wasn't like I was a main character, but just being a part of their project was, I really appreciated the opportunity, and hopefully, we'll grow strength from strength.
Have you ever thought of penning your own film?
Maybe? Yeah, definitely.
I think it makes sense,
I was offered a film.
Right.
A lot of people don't know this. I was offered a film many, many years ago, Diary of BADMAN film, and it was either
So you would have wrote the script and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would have either done that or done a school tour, and I chose the tour because at the time I thought the movie is going to always happen in my head.
Oh, wow.
But with the school tour, I was really excited because I was like, all these people who watch and support me, I can, see them face to face. Because at that time, all I was doing was just in front of the camera, and I was just, do you know what I mean?
That's mental, so, bro. I would have taken the movie, bro.
I know, I should have.
But it's not too late, I mean.
We are working on something, not Diary of a BADMAN, the movie. I kind of when I was offered that afterwards, I did kind of pass on it.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want to ruin the legacy, and I just felt that.
But
I know what you're gonna say, but I know what you're gonna say, but for me, I'm not saying never say never.
Yeah.
I'm not saying someone put 10 mil on the table and said do the movie, and I'm like,
put it on the table. Yeah.
No. Well, if you have 10 mil, then we'll do it. But it was more the fact that I was just really honest with myself, and I said creatively, it's not about the money. It's about I've created something that everyone. It's like The Simpsons. Yeah. I felt like The Simpsons.
But there was a movie.
Yeah. There was a movie,
it
and
seems
everyone
like the
was
inevitable
disappointed.
step, doesn't it?
But a lot of people were disappointed, and I feel if Friends they made the movie, everyone would have been disappointed.
But then timing's everything, right?
Timing's everything, but I do believe that if it's not broke, don't fix it. In the terms of what it did for the YouTube world, it was incredible, and I don't want to milk it. I mean, I'm already still doing other things like BADMAN, but never say never.
I would put it out there. I would love to see, I'm sure everyone would, a movie with you.
It would be,
I think it's only right that you take the centre stage.
It would
You've
be
earned
good.
it. You earned your stripes. You know what I mean? So for real, just to touch where we are, we're at a Palestine event. Obviously, it's very serious in there, very heartfelt. You went on stage. You was crying on stage.
I wasn't crying.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
No.
I stumbled a bit.
Okay, but I've never seen that side of you. Just talk about the impact of what's going on right now, and how hard it is artist, for you as like a comedian,
Yeah.
really now to like, you feel kind of like you can't bring that side out of you because of what's going on?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, I don't feel funny right now at all. I don't feel, you know. I think, you know, this is not just about me. This is about all of us. Like the things that we've seen online. You know, everything in Gaza and Palestine. It's you know, it is heartbreaking, and a lot of strong men today have been on stage and
Crying, yeah.
and they've been really sad, and even with me, like, you know, I wasn't fully crying, but
Hey, listen, if there ever was a time to do it, bro,
I'll be honest with you, I was very uncomfortable because what I did was I just wrote a poem because I couldn't sleep because of the videos I've been seeing on social media. I just can't sleep anymore, and I think a lot of people can relate to that,
for real.
because some of the videos have just been horrific. And I just wrote this poem, and then I didn't know what to say today, and I knew I couldn't make any jokes. So I was just like, oh, let me just read this poem, and I'm reading it, and I'm just stumbling, and I'm like, my heart is pounding, and I'm like, you know, I've performed to like 10,000 people,
Yeah, for real.
you know, abroad, and that was 10 times harder. And the reason why is because, you know, this is not a bad dream. This is something that's actually happening, and we all feel guilty. Like, look, mashallah, we're in a nice room. We've just had some really good food. You know, we're around great people. But on the other side of the world, there's people that are losing their parents, their siblings, their houses, their life. And sometimes I feel guilty about being alive, because it's so unfair that they have to experience that, and we're okay, you know. So yeah, anyway, we're all here, and big up, you know, Kream Developments, Cash Shabs, the organisers, everyone that turned up today. It just shows that we're just, you know, we're not giving up, and that's the mentality we need.
That's what I want to touch on. You've been very, very vocal on your social media. There's a lot of people that are not. How do you feel kind of about making that choice of, like, obviously you're a Google ambassador, you're back with all these brands. Has it ever occurred to you like this might not work with what I'm doing? Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I know.
That balance.
I mean, I've had conversations. Look, don't get it twisted. I understand. I'm not justifying it, but I understand people who don't, because people who make a living out of it, you know, without saying too much, but the world are, you know, controlled by, you know, certain people, and if they feel like you're against.
But just saying that sometimes can maybe people feel like damage or hinder where they're going, you know.
Yeah, 100. Look, this is how I see it. It could mess things up for me. It could potentially, you know, I might lose the bag here and there, but God is seeing what I'm doing, and
so you won't lose your heart, kind of thing.
And God has put me in a position. I always believe in this. God is the one who gave me this. You know, people may say, oh, it's your talent or your hard work, or no, but God gave me that. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. He's put me in that position. So for me to not, you know, stand up for my brothers and sisters, and it's not even, and you know what? It's not even like because they're Muslim, you know, like, you know, when there's so many things that I've seen that don't even affect Muslims but other people. I've always stood up. I've always tried to use my voice and use my platform to speak up for justice, and you know, even with Diary of a Badman, like there were comedy comedy episodes, but at the end there was always messages at the end.
Yeah.
So I just say, be true to yourself, and yeah, don't fake it, and don't be scared of, you know, upsetting the wrong people.
And then how do you feel about people that don't necessarily use their platforms?
You know, look, it is frustrating, but I feel like we're past that now. I feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, this person's not speaking up, this person's not speaking up. I feel like we've passed that now.
I was speaking to Harris about DJ Khaled and stuff like that, and he was like, we're at a point where like you can't stay silent. Like that's the way he was feeling about it. But
I agree.
Can you understand a lot of things I was saying? Maybe things are happening behind the scenes that you don't know about. And
exactly.
Also, people are quick to judge people and say, right, you're not saying nothing. You have no idea. Maybe that person is doing something.
You never know. And like, look, I understand like people's like we all want like our favorite celebrity to be speaking up. And when they don't, you're like, but you're my hero, and you're not helping me in my situation with my people, and you feel let down, and that's fair enough. But I feel like that's not as important as you supporting Palestine and you doing your bit. Whatever anyone else wants to do, that's their business. You can, you know, suggest, but don't talk about it too long. Like, I think I'm at a point now where people are saying, oh, you know, these, oh, Humza, you, and, you know, like, let's just say like Cash and a few others, you know, you like, we're the only few that are, you know, doing, and then I'm like, okay, that's fine, but let's move on from that now. Do you know what I mean? Whoever chooses to speak out will speak out. Whoever doesn't, they may have a valid reason. Let them be. Let's just concentrate on the issue and more important things. Like, we're fighting amongst ourselves. That's not productive.
How do you see this going in the future?
It's gonna.
Can you see some type of resolution?
Nah, it's gonna get worse. Inshallah, I'm completely wrong, but I mean, it's not gonna get any better anytime soon. But I feel like the only positive that we can take is, even though Palestine has been, you know, bombarded year after year, and they've been, you know, treated like animals, you know, by them. But this time, I feel, is the first time where a lot of people who are not Muslim, who are not, you know, in that bubble,
they begin to understand.
They're beginning to understand, they're beginning to see, because everywhere you see on social media, it's free Palestine, and that's fantastic. And people need to understand as well, like, saying free Palestine, it's not anti-Semitic. It's not, nothing got to do with Jews or, you know, even you know, the Israeli people. Yeah, maybe the, you know, government or the Zionists or whatever you call it. But, you know,
it doesn't encompass everybody.
Free Palestine basically means that, you know, these group of people are being oppressed, and they deserve to be treated as humans. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, political, you know, conflict there's going on with, you know, the, you know, Israeli military and Hamas and all of that. Look, forget all of that. Look at the innocent people. That's what we're talking about. Look at the innocent people dying. It shouldn't happen in any country, and Palestine's had it the worst.
For real. I think we got to host an auction. I was told me and you hosting an auction.
Cash always does that.
I don't know, but I think we are. So we're gonna go out there and raise some money.
Okay, yeah.
Just a side note though, you're looking very healthy, bro. But I'm telling you.
I just told a few people.
Nah.
Shizzio was the one who made biceps famous.
No. But honestly, I'm proud of you, bro. You put in the work, man.
Thank you, bro.
And trust me, bro. Look at the shirt's gonna rip, brother.
It's just
allow
it's just
it,
steroids,
bro.
man.
No, don't do that.
Just a couple of injections.
Don't do that.
Easy,
No,
man.
no,
So nice as well.
Hard,
I'm
bro.
joking.
Listen, man. Thank you. I love ya. You, my brother.
Likewise.
Yeah, we got work to do inside. Just wanted to grab you for a minute. I know when we chatted, just
We'll do a proper
I'll have to get
one.
you a proper one.
This was like I think I was speaking really fast.
No. It's all good. Love and respect my brother always. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for It's the Ilford IG local geezer. Summertime vibes, I'm down to feature. Drink of the smoke, I'm down for Perpendicular, straight up, opposite a pay cut. If you're not out tonight, I wouldn't wait up. Dunk or a layup, take up to fake, but more merry than buried.
More guy. Gang once. Gang twice. 4.5. Are you really against each other? Like your brothers? One second. Michelle, are you sure? Shabs, that means you're paying for it, T. He's younger. How much was that, Cash? 4.5. Oh, you're 4.5. Really? What are you bidding then, bro? T, it's your turn. 5? Let's go. 5. 5.5. No pressure. Free round of applause for 4.5. 5. Wait, you've been pushed to 5? Yeah. Hands up for 5. We all heard that, right? Didn't he say 5? Yeah. Allahu Akbar! MashaAllah. Well done. I don't want to hear no nonsense. Strong boat, all my team's on no nonsense. You know it's 4-5 for the nonsense. He-man, power of grace.
All right, cool. We're here, man at Harris J. Brother, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, pleasure.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
What brings you here? I know the answer is pretty obvious, but obviously coming from you.
Yeah, Palestine, man. Palestine brings me here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do whatever I can at the moment. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really go to too many charity dinners and that, but when the brother shouted me, I just said straight away, like, I'm just trying to do everything I can.
Yeah.
Like, anything and everything right now.
I've seen you really active online.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Obviously, is that a second thought to you? Because there are a lot of people kind of second guessing what they feel they should put online, or do you know what I mean? Where's your line when it comes to that?
I'll be honest, I don't really have one.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I don't really have one, but I do understand people that do have one. However, there's a certain limit, like the extent that it's got to now. I just think that if you're not saying anything now, then I can't personally have respect for anyone that's not willing to say something right now. Because I know loads of people that are saying stuff that are massive, like, you know, in the industry and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't really care for these people that are just, I don't know, they're just worried and they're scared and I get it, but like, nah, I don't really get it. Too tough.
I completely understand. When you look at people like, I don't know, like your DJ Khaled's and your Drakes, when people are like really talking about it, like Khaled or someone like he's from there. How does that make you feel, brother? Does it? Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to say too much.
No, but
I'm not trying to personally attack anyone.
I know.
But
can you see where they're coming from,
I
or
think that is
has it come to a point where you just can't see that anymore?
No, I think with someone like that, obviously only Allah knows best, innit? Like he's probably, we like to think, doing stuff behind the scenes. However, the way I think about this is, it's hard for him to come out and say something.
Yeah.
That's what's hard for him. And that's the charity that's most pleasing to God. The charity that is hard for you to do. Giving money for him, he's got unlimited amount of money. It's not hard. Like, we don't want him to give money right now because people have said non-stop. I've heard people from Gaza literally say to people that I'm in touch with, like, we don't want your money right now. We just want you to get them to stop. And people like him, they have the power to they have a big, you know what I'm saying? They have a big say. Like, he has massive influence. So if he could just say something, it would be way more effective than his money, I believe.
Do you think some people are judging people like him because he could be doing stuff that we just don't know about?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I do think that.
It's that kind of
I do think that a
knowing.
lot of times people are just way too quick to judge people.
Yeah.
And like I said, you never know what someone's doing behind the scenes and stuff. But I just think that by now, if you're Palestinian and you haven't spoken out, then there's an issue. Like, there should be an issue with it, basically.
I saw you on stage earlier. You gave a poem and you said that you've been there.
Yeah.
You visited it. Could you just please tell us about your visit when you went?
So I went in 2018.
Sorry, can I ask why you went there?
Okay,
Was
yeah.
there a
I just went there because my cousin was studying. She was studying and she went to university here and she did a year abroad in Palestine. So I went there to stay with her for a bit and some of her friends.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a negative stigma of going to Palestine, obviously, because of what's going on.
Safety,
but
etc.
yeah, but because she was there and we all knew that where she was actually not that. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
However, when I got there, I think I kind of underestimated how bad it was gonna be.
Right.
And I saw some like ridiculous things, bro. I saw ridiculous things. I didn't go to Gaza. I went to the West Bank, all over the West Bank. I was in Jerusalem, Ramallah, Nablus, all over the West Bank. Should we wait for a second? Yeah. So I went all over the West Bank, and
Can you kind of talk about some things you saw?
Man. I mean,
get into
I was with
if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's fine. I always say it because it's just crazy to me. So I saw conflict break out when I was actually going to the airport to return home to London. There was a conflict that broke out right in front of me where all the things that I had heard about growing up that were just dreams and fantasy, like we just used to hear about them and see them on the news every now and then. I was actually watching it. I was watching little kids with slingshots and stones, like throwing rocks, little tiny pebbles at soldiers who were shooting back at them. And it was happening outside my taxi window. Literally, we got caught in it. Suddenly the taxi couldn't move and we was in like a traffic jam and this was happening all around us. And there was tear gas in the air, everything. And I was just like, looked at my cousin, I was just like, this is real, fam. And at that moment, I felt like such a coward because I was like, I always thought, man, you know when you're sitting at home, man, if I was there, like I'll back it. But bro,
when you're there, you just
when
you're
you're there,
in the headlights.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at these kids, bro. These kids that have just way more balls than us, bro. These kids that are just superheroes, bro. They're out here fighting for their land, like in a way that we could never. We could never. And I was like, subhanallah. But even like while I was there, like my trip involved me I got G-checked by soldiers, like countless times, bro. Like just IDF soldiers just coming up to me saying, because I was with a bunch of hijabis, innit?
Right.
So they'll come up to me and they'll try and embarrass me in front of all the girls, like show us your passport.
Oh, really?
Then they'll throw my passport on the floor, like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like little things like that.
But was your British passport not really worth much?
Bruv, nothing.
I swear.
Nothing. As you can see right now from all the madness that's going on,
Yeah.
Israel actually have no shame. They don't care about the rest of the world. They don't give a monkeys, bro. Like the United Nations, bro. That's the United Nations.
Yeah.
They've said to them to hold off now. They don't care, bro. They don't answer to no one apart from America, I guess. Like, but bro, it's ridiculous, fam.
How does this end in your mind? How can you see it? I don't know. What do you think the future holds?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, obviously, to this specific fight that's happening right now, to this specific genocide that started 2 weeks ago, I guess ceasefire, innit? Like, ceasefire is all we should be calling for. But But bro, ceasefire is not good enough, bro. Like we need to end the
Yeah.
apartheid completely. There needs to be a two-state solution, at least a two-state solution where they just don't bother the Palestinians no more. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like it doesn't really look like that's gonna happen. So in my mind, the only thing that actually like can stop this is a world war. Like as in the Muslim country need to do something about it and say, no, we're not gonna stand for this no more, and we're gonna you know what I mean?
Why do you think they're not doing that?
There's all different reasons. Trade reasons. They need trade with America, they need trade with so and so, and everyone's in everyone's pockets, innit? Like you can't. People are just, they're putting themselves first, basically. People have to act selfishly, and yeah.
You said something on stage which was really, really touching about a lady you met in Palestine as you left.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was just someone at the door. As you left, she said something to you. Can you just please just let the people know, because I thought that was really, really powerful.
Yeah. So I met this lady on the border of Syria, and Lebanon. She was in a Palestinian refugee camp, and she had been ushered out of her land many, many years ago. She was describing to us how she had lost her husband and her son and many of her grandchildren. She was in this tent alone, and she was speaking to us. And as I got up to leave, I had been crying listening to her speak for like half an hour. And as I got up to leave, I said to the brother who was translating for me, I said, please can you tell her that we're of course going to pray for her. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to tell all my family to pray for her. And she just looked at me and she said it in Arabic. I didn't understand what she said, and asked the brother to translate it. And he said, she's looking at you and she's telling you that she doesn't need your prayers, and that she will pray for you, and that she will pray for you and your family, because we're going to need it. And that she knows where she's going. She's going to heaven. She knows she's going. This is the iman of these people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want anything from us. They actually don't. They literally don't want nothing from us, which is crazy. But if we could have that level of iman, we would actually realize that we need them so much more than they need us. They can take us to Jannah. You think, what can we do for them, bro? Like, we can't do nothing for them. What? Give a little bit of money, give a little bit of food. Just, you know what I mean? We're just prolonging their suffering, if anything. Where they're heading is a place that we're all trying to get to, and they got the fast track. You know what I mean? So
deep
subhanAllah, when you think about it like that,
yeah,
it's mad,
for
bro.
real. You know, when you said it, I was like, wow, like I've never thought about it like that. But
Yeah, me too. Until she said it,
the perspective,
that hit me, bro. Wallahi, that hit me. And I went home and I acted upon it. I was like, bro, I need to start thinking about myself, bro. Like she said, she's good. She's good.
And then obviously, I know it's busy outside, there's money being raised and we kind of taking
Yeah.
the room with, but just a quick touch on your kind of background. You've obviously, Brit school, you doing your thing, you've kind of hit fame to a kind of level, a commercial level. What kind of made you just kind of, I don't know, take Islam and just, I don't know, just give me a quick, because I don't know when I'm going to see this brother again. So I've got him now.
Inshallah soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of was the, I don't know, what was there a turning point, or was it something that was just going to happen?
I'm not gonna lie, there's been
I feel like I need you on the show for our special. You go.
You have a show, yeah?
Yeah.
We're gonna get on the show then, man.
Okay,
we'll
cool
do that,
then.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I
If you
can
could
say
just
it
touch
properly.
on briefly then,
Yeah.
and then I'll call you back and we'll find
Briefly, I've had many turning points in my life. When I was younger, I did faith-inspired music. That's what I first started with. I then left and signed to Universal Music.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while. But
You
you know,
were really out here, weren't you?
yeah, man, I was too out here.
Hounded.
I was too out here.
Wow.
But to I don't know, if I had to put it in like a small way of explaining it, like when I was doing the faith-inspired music, I felt like a hypocrite. I felt like my personal life did not coincide with how I was being represented in the public eye, and I always felt bad meeting people. I always felt like I was hiding things. I always felt like you can't hide from God, innit? So it just felt a bit pointless. Like, what am I doing?
Right.
So when I started doing the mainstream music, it kind of flipped, and the exact opposite happened. Like, I started to in my personal life get closer to God, and everything was changing, but then my work was the complete opposite.
Right.
And I was in God knows where doing God knows what, and suddenly I was just like, brother, I need to go back.
And you
I
didn't
need to
enjoy
go back. Didn't enjoy it at all.
At all.
I went for Hajj and I went for Umrah a couple of times, and those things really, really like just made me realize that if I have a priority in life, my priority is to get to heaven. Everything in my life needs to be directed towards that. It can't be like, this is a job, because that's how I used to try and look at it. That's my job, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In my personal life with God, I can keep personal. But it shouldn't be like that. I've realized now, I want to be unapologetic with my faith now and show everyone, like, you know what, I'm proud, bro.
To make that move must be like Do you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I've had to,
Must have
yeah.
been the hardest. I
was-
don't know, was it hard or was it really easy? Because I thought,
It was
I guess
hard
in
in
one way,
terms
I'm
of-
thinking that must be one of the hardest choices to make. But then I guess if you know what you want to do, I guess, I don't know.
It's been hard in terms of like, practically it's been hard. Contracts and you know what I'm saying, like deals and positioning and places I was in that was hard for me to maneuver getting out.
Yeah.
But in terms of like you said, like once I had made the decision in my mind, which was not too long ago, honestly, it's been within the last year, but once I made that decision, it's like God's made it nothing but easy for me. Like he's made it easy. Like every single thing that I think is gonna be a battle, just when you're actually striving, like, he will open the way.
Wow.
Without doubt.
All right, I'm going to end it there because I feel like we need to have a sit down.
Yeah, we'll have a proper sit down.
Just one side note, you're boxing, yeah? You said you were boxing off camera every day.
Off camera every day, bro.
And you're up for a challenge, yeah?
Yeah, man. If it's the right challenge.
All right, cool.
Right
Yeah, we're going to put that in the universe. Leave it to me, I'll sort it out. My brother, love, thank you for your time,
Pleasure,
bro.
man.
Love and
Pleasure.
respect.